Welcome Taurus to your in-depth monthly forecast for March 2024 for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to share some standout details to begin with, Taurus, but please stay with me. I will explore in much greater depth all the ins and outs in detail. Now, Jupiter and Uranus are in your sign as this month begins, and Jupiter, the planet of fortune, forges a sensational link to the Sun on the very first day. So as you come into this month, that can promote a sense of optimism. But also, we need to be mindful of your ruler. Venus connects to Saturn, but then goes on to forge also a brilliant link to Jupiter. So that can be very good for you in terms of your creative hopes. But from the time of the spring equinox, you may want a little bit more time to yourself. So lots more to share with you. Please stay with me for more. If you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast and understand what's going on in your personal astrology based on your unique birth data, if you share with me your time, date and place, or date and place, I can produce for you your life roadmap report. This will give you searing insights into the patterns that are played out in your life so far and a much more intimate understanding of how to work with them and seize opportunities going forwards. In my special package of 30% off, you can also get your 12-month transit forecast. This is an analysis of the moving planets in the sky and how they're interacting with your unique blueprint. So really exciting. Please see the link below. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. And also please feel very welcome to comment and interact with me. So Taurus, as you begin March, the Sun, Mercury, Saturn and Neptune are all in your 11th house, very much to do with those future plans, your network, your friendships, but also your highest hopes. But the Sun is very, very close to Saturn. In fact, it was exactly conjunct Saturn on the 28th of February. And there may be something that you have invested a lot of yourself in, maybe a friendship, maybe an interest, and it could give you food for thought in this early part of the month. But equally, with the Sun forging that glorious link to Jupiter, if there's something that's still really exciting you, then it can pay dividends, particularly if you're closely involved in whatever future you're planning. So it's not just about having a good job or a good relationship. You need to feel creatively invested. I feel that is what Jupiter is saying to you. Now the Sun and also Venus, your ruler, are going to ally to Saturn this month. If there are some people in your social circle who are not necessarily completely as committed to you as you would like, the cracks could show a little bit. But also with the nodal conjunction to Chiron, which becomes exact on the 5th, but essentially provides a backdrop for the whole of this month, you could find yourself asking some very deep and searching questions about the meaning of life and what you really want. And if there is some psychological stuff from your past that's still floating around, perhaps the new moon of the 10th and its link to Uranus in your sign is a provocation to perhaps look at something in a different and fresh light. Mercury, however, does move into your 12th house to join up with the node and also Chiron on the 10th. And perhaps that can start to see you maybe just stepping inside a little bit. Now, despite this, on the 11th, your ruler does move into the most sociable part of your chart. But in week 3, it is in that conjunction with Saturn, and it's exact on the 21st. But the 20th sees the spring equinox. That sees the Sun join up with Mercury and also the node and Chiron in your 12th house. So you can see how the transition's going. If you have been asking some questions about your longer term future, by the time we get to Mars moving into your 11th house on the 22nd and then the lunar eclipse on the 25th, the outcome of those two changes could mean that you can see that maybe you do need to realign some of your direction, but you might not quite have the strategy completely worked out. If so, try to go with it, because one of the things the eclipse will do is forge a very positive link to Pluto. Pluto right high in the most prominent part of your situation could see you thinking carefully about your professional involvements as well. There may be some kind of reset that you go through in the last phase of this month, but I think the genesis of it, if you like, is really there from the Sun's alliance with Saturn, as it was at the end of February, when slowly but surely you're thinking, am I quite on the right track? Am I hanging out with the right people? Am I motivated by the right things? So there can be some big questions this month. And although that super new moon, which occurs on the 10th, can be very uplifting, and you do have the link between Venus and Jupiter, which goes from the 22nd to the 27th, which can be good financially and also very good socially, I feel that Saturn all the time keeps asking those searching questions. And then even the spring equinox, with its link also to Pluto, once more is just asking you, am I on the right track around my work as well? So this month can definitely pose some questions, but it can also see some major breakthroughs if you're very much in touch with the process. You're very invested, it all feels right, things could actually make progress in a very solid way, and rather than experience resistance, you can see actually bricks being put into place in the wall, which can give you a firmer foundation from which to work from. But certainly by the end of the month, if you do find yourself wanting to retreat a little bit, have some time out, perhaps even consider some new approaches to food, diet, nutrition and exercise. Just take that in your stride, because the last 2 days of this month start to see the build-up of the conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus in your sign, which will become exact on the 21st of April, but it's going on right through to the early part of June. So maybe something you've been working towards has been for the right motivations in some ways, but if it's not really exciting and gripping you as it might, maybe this month requires some kind of rethink or reset. But if you're on the right track, you're going to start to see some exciting evidence by the end of the month.